It's the NFL on EA Sports, and the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Los Angeles Chargers and the Minnesota Vikings, and it comes your way next on Madden Football.
A very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at US Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Straight ahead, we've got a pretty good one on tap here, as it'll be the LA Chargers taking on the Minnesota Vikings. Brandon Gaudin, so pleased to be joined as always by Charles Davis. CD, these Vikings had things rolling in 2022, a 13-4 record, new head coach, an exciting offense, but it all came crashing down in another early playoff exit.
And that really was because of the defensive side of the ball. They had a terrific record. Would they win 11 games by one score or less, an NFL record? Got to get strong on the defensive side in order to get deeper into the playoffs.
Meanwhile, for the Chargers, they have the pieces in place. They were a playoff team in 2022. What do you see for them this year?
You give this team full health throughout the season, and they have a chance to be not just a playoff team again, but beyond, because they'll scare the heck out of you on the offensive side of the ball. Defensively, that's where they have to start playing a little bit better.
Let's go get it now.
Greg Joseph now ready to get this one started, and we are underway from Minneapolis. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. So the Charger offense making its way out, and at the controls is the league's second leading passer a year ago. At 25 years of age, out of Oregon, it's Justin Herbert.
The Chargers just continue to improve and take steps forward under the quiet leadership of Herbert, who's been the most productive quarterback in league history through his first 3 seasons. Over 4,700 yards last year. He's expecting to crack the 5,000-yard mark in this season.
Now the 7-year veteran, Austin Eckler. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. It's second down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Williams being motioned left. Now they'll fake the jet sweep and give it instead to Eckler. And he's going to be down at the 35, gain of 7.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
Herbert, and now the throw here is incomplete, and with that we come to the end of the first quarter of play. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Charger football to start quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 4th down coming up. A 4th down, so the Chargers trot out J.K. Scott. Brandon Powell deep for Minnesota. This will be fielded at the 17. Call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on the 6-yard return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. So here are the Vikings set to go to work, and they're led by the leading passer in the NFC a season ago. Now in his 12th year, 6th as a Viking, Kirk Cousins.
Minnesota's new coaching staff really leaned on Cousins for leadership and production, and the longtime vet was up to the pressure. 29 touchdowns, 4,500 yards, and a 13-win season, his best as a starter. Captain Kirk, he's quietly been one of the league's most productive passers the last few seasons.
They'll start on the ground with Madison. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
You know, it's not just all athleticism from defensive linemen. Let's give them a little credit for their football intelligence as well. Read and react by them, understood the play call, and stacked it up and stuffed the run.
2nd and 9. To throw is Cousins. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And we will likely not see another play here as they take the knee and head into the intermission all tied. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. So on 4th down, on is the punter Ryan Wright. And the rookie Darius Davis deep for the Chargers. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. So plenty of action on the field, but no action right now on the scoreboard, at least as of yet. 0-0 is our score. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Not too much to show you in terms of scoring plays. In fact, there's nothing to show you. A scoreless tie here at the half. Both of these defenses have been outstanding thus far.
Okay, Coach. Yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this 3rd quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. So no scoring in our first half. What will the second half bring as we are now back underway? This fielded right at the goal line. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. And the Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. And we thought this game had the potential to be tight, maybe not this tight, scoreless as we start the 3rd quarter.
And I love the way you use the word tight. I'm going to take it a little bit different direction here because it's not just tight on the scoreboard. I think both offenses have been tight in how they've played this game. No one's been loose. No one's been free. They've got to find a way to make some plays, and I don't think you do it if you're really tight in everything that you're doing in the game.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that'll make it 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Play action now. Cousins. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a 1st down there. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. This is 1st and 10. Now Cousins. Now they go screen. It's complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Here comes second down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. Clock at 36 seconds. Here's second down. Cousins. Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson. And he's going to get out of bounds with the first. And they are knocking on the door of field goal range now.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Here's Madison running on first down. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Second down, 8 yards to go. Here's Madison getting it again on second. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
That's a gain of 3. Now 3rd and 5.
Boy, here's a big one. You can just feel it. This is third down now. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. Tension building. Here's Greg Joseph. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And now it all rests on the right foot of their kicker. This a long one from 54. That's leaking to the right, and he missed it by a foot or 2. It's no good, and still nothing on the scoreboard. It remains a scoreless tie.
Boy, that's a big-time letdown there. You work yourself in position to win the game, but the kick winds up no good. And now you've got to regroup as a team, get the energy back up, and get ready for overtime. And make sure you pump him up, too. He may be needed to try and win it again later.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Herbert to throw. Here we go. This to avoid overtime. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So pass interference the call, and that does not look to be going over too well on the defensive side.
Or on their sideline, because I believe their head coach is saying right now, hey, you've got to call that both ways.
And it is good. He splits the uprights on the chip shot. And they've come in here and stolen one on the road. So this one's over. It's in the win column for the LA Chargers. And not all W's are created equal, CD. And this one came in shutout fashion.
Well, their offense certainly didn't need to do anything, right? They could take the day off, and they did. But the defense, they carried them in a big way.
Yeah, look.